Hi there, this is Lynn, and I am happy to announce that I have given birth to my third baby boy. My husband and I decided to name him Jonathan, and he was born on May 30th of 2017. And I just want to share with you my birthing story. I know that I've shared with you in the past that we already have a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and so we have a newborn, and I call him the surprise child because we had decided we were done. We were just going to have our two boys, but the Lord saw differently, and He added another baby to us. So we are very proud and excited to raise him up in the Lord, and also to teach him and train him up to be a productive citizen in this world. And so I want to just share with you the story of how I went into labor and my delivery process and recovery all the way up to now. So it's been about 2 weeks, and on May 30th, my labor pains actually began Memorial Day night. I was visiting one of my best friends, and I started having contractions. And that was around like 10 o'clock that night on Memorial Day. So Monday night, 10 o'clock, I was having contractions. They were about 5 minutes apart. I wasn't alarmed. I drove home about an hour to get home. And I was still having the contractions, but they weren't so severe to where I couldn't, talk or drive or move around. So I told my husband when I got home, I said, well, I think we're going to have this baby tomorrow because the contractions have been uh, consistent. So I stayed up till about 1 o'clock that morning, which was Tuesday morning, May 30th, and they started getting farther apart. So they got up to like 10 to 12 minutes apart. So I started getting sleepy, and I decided to go ahead and go to sleep. So about 3 o'clock on May 30th, 3 o'clock a.m., I felt a trickle down my leg. And I woke up because I was like, oh my goodness, I'm peeing on myself. And so I woke up my husband, I said, Isom, I'm using the bathroom on myself or my water has broke. Because with my other two pregnancies, my water did not break until I got to the hospital. My firstborn, it broke on its own, and with my second son, the doctors, they broke the water. So this was an experience that I had not experienced before, and with both of the previous labor and delivery processes, once the water broke, it's like they were born, immediately after. So I was like, okay, we have to get to the hospital ASAP because I didn't know if this baby would be born. Um, like within the hour or not. So we got our boys up. My sister came and picked them up, and we went to the hospital. We went through the emergency room entrance because it was after hours. We couldn't go through the labor and delivery floor. So they wheeled me to the labor and delivery floor, and from the emergency room, they got me changed into the gown and all. And I was still talking, still smiling, and they were like, oh, you're doing good. It's not quite time because you're still smiling. And they asked me if I wanted to have the epidural. I elected not to. And so I was going to have this vaginal birth naturally, no epidural at all. And so in my mind, because I had my first son like an hour and 30 minutes after I got to the hospital, I had my second son 39 minutes after I got to the hospital. So I knew with this baby, it's my third one. It's going to be like 30 minutes or less. I'm just going to knock this out, push this baby out, and be done. All right, so we got to the hospital about 4 a.m. and time was just a ticking. I was continuing to dilate, but I noticed, this isn't like the previous labor and delivery experiences. This one is taking longer. So 4 o'clock, we got there. 5 o'clock came, 6 o'clock came, 7 o'clock came. At that point, 7 o'clock, the pains became severe. They were like an 8 out of 10 for me. And I was just calling on the name of the Lord. I was just praying, you know, just keep breathing through the contractions and all. And around 8 o'clock, I know my sister came, my husband was there, my sister came, and the pain just became more severe. And so around about 8:20, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, this baby has to come now, because my body, I was just tired. And pretty much, you know, like I said earlier, I didn't go to sleep until 1 o'clock. And so all this energy that I was putting in and breathing and focusing, my body, I just was getting tired. Mentally, I was getting tired. And so I was just like calling on the name of the Lord. I was like, Lord God, help me. Jesus, help me. And I had started praying in tongues or speaking in tongues. And I just know, you know, I know the Holy Spirit is in us. And those of us who are believers, I know the Holy Spirit is in us. And I just know He was helping me, because at 8:25 a.m., 5 minutes later, my beautiful baby boy Jonathan was born. And because I was like dilating, you know, 1 centimeter an hour. So at the 8 o'clock hour, I was at 7 centimeters. And I was like, oh my God, I got to do this for about 3 more hours. But from 8:20 to 8:25, I went from 7 centimeters to 10 centimeters fully dilated. He was born. He entered into the world. I had a vaginal birth. And I did have to get stitches. But I just know, I felt like that was a supernatural experience for me. It was different from my previous pregnancies. It was different from my previous labor and delivery experiences. But in that moment, that was so special, because I know that God truly, He helped me. He sped that process up, because physically I was tired. I was getting weak. But you know, by His power, by His Spirit, He expedited it. And our baby boy, he's here. He's healthy. He's doing well. And after that, once I got stitched up, he was cleaned up and all, we were transferred to our room that we were going to stay at for that day and the next day. So I just want to share that experience with you. It was totally different. It was longer, but you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world, because the end result, which was us being able to birth out that beautiful baby boy, it was worth it all. And so I just want to share that experience with you. And just for those moms or moms to be that are expecting and anticipating the arrival of their little one, just know that if you have previous children, it's going to be a different experience. If you never had children before, it'll be an experience that you never had before. But just know that when you push through the pain, you're going to get that promise of that beautiful baby. And you know what? That pain, it will be a forgotten thing. You won't even be able to feel it anymore, you know, once it's over. But you'll just have so much love and joy that you're going to pour into your new baby. And so I just pray that you have a successful labor and delivery. And I would just love to hear your comments and let me know if you, from my experience that I had with this labor and delivery, I want to know if you had a similar experience as well, whether it is, you know, the water breaking at home, or if the hours, if you dilated if you dilate a centimeter an hour, or if you had a supernatural experience where you were praying in tongues, or anything of that nature. I love to hear from you. So leave me some comments below. All right, and I'll see you on the next video.